All right. Anabolic Academy, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. We're live. We're going to do a special Anabolic Academy tonight because I was supposed to do a breakdown of the Arnold Classic last night, but I was throwing up all day yesterday, and so I had to cancel it.
Join the club.
Yeah, it was
delicious.
Yeah, it was fucking bad. It was unbelievable. But so we're just going to be talking about the Arnold Classic and whatever else. But before we get started, let me just do my quick plugs. Beer League Warriors Apparel. Please go buy it. He's giving 30% off. BLW30, Beer League Warriors. It's in the description area. Well, I don't know any other clothing company that's giving 30% off. I would have never give 30% off, but the guy's giving 30% off. So, I mean, I don't know how much better you can get than that. What other shit do we have, Lee? Novoxidil if you're bald.
SAS10.
The SAS10. Novoxidil if you're bald, discount code JOHN if you don't want to rock the bald look like me. Supposedly it helps. And SAS10 is from American-Subs if you're European. They're out in Germany and they don't deliver to the States. But if you're out in Europe, apparently they're good shit. And the code is, what is it, Lee? SAS10?
Yes.
All right. So everybody knows Lee Priest. He's a legend, of course. But we got a newbie with us.
Just an old wanker.
Yeah. And Antonio, you, tell us about yourself. You turned pro when? Where you from? And give us a little bit of your background when it comes to bodybuilding.
Yeah, so I turned pro in 2020 during the pandemic. I'm from Long Island, I got into bodybuilding late. Just Division I athlete. I ran professional track, and I'm like, what's next? I got into introducing to bodybuilding. Turned pro in 2020. Now I've only done 3 shows prior to that. 2 shows. They threw me into the Jersey Regional show. Qualified for nationals. Didn't know what I was doing. But just had the work ethic, and the pandemic happened, man. Things fell in my favor. I was able to do the show again, and I won my class. So, ever since then, I just been doing it on my terms. Obviously, I could be a lot further in my career, but I don't think it's worth, the risk, especially with a
No, it definitely isn't.
I said, I got a family. I'm going to do this on my time. That's just, I do a lot of other things outside of bodybuilding, but this has definitely been something that I've been enjoying. You know what I mean?
All right. So you turned pro inside of 3 shows.
So I did the Northeasterns, which was a show in Jersey.
Yeah.
And I qualified.
Yeah, that's what's his name show, Maz's show, right? Yes, yeah, that's Maz Ali's show, right?
Yeah,
Ian? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And went to North Americans, took 8th in my class. Pandemic happened, and Gary put out, if you qualify, if you were top 10 or something like that, you don't have to do another show. You can do nationals again. So I said, I don't care what show it is, what national show, I'm getting my card, and it worked out in my favor. So in 3 shows, it sounds good, but turning pro very early, there's still a lot you have to learn. There's still a lot of muscle maturity. There's still a lot of.
Well, how old are you now, Antonio?
Well, I started bodybuilding when I was 30, so 32. Damn. I'm 36 now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, late. But
you started late.
Oh yeah. Well, I went to I got recruited for track, and then I went to Dominican Republic after that, and then I came back. I did a little professional career. I didn't know much about bodybuilding. I literally got into it late. Obviously knowing study people like Lee Priest and all those great guys. I'm a shorter guy, so it's very.
That was your first mistake, studying me.
No, again, give yourself credit. I heard a lot of great things. I heard, Jay Cutler said some great things about Lee. Again, let's talk about stature, right? I'm like,
Ronnie Coleman loves Lee Priest.
Listen, we all know he's still devastated after those. Yeah, that's funny. So I did my homework, right? I did a lot of studying, and I studied the sport, and now I'm at a point where my only goal now is just, Olympia, and obviously C-Bump is out. I'm praying the standard somewhat changes a little bit, but we'll see. But yeah, man. So that's a little bit about my, bodybuilding career. I'm in Arizona now. So
Lee, what part
of Arizona are you in?
I'm in Phoenix, but if you ever been to Arizona, I'm in like the Avondale area.
I lived in Scottsdale for 4 years.
Oh, so yeah. We're 20 minutes from Scottsdale. It's a little crazy.
Lee, what advice can you give Antonio being a new pro and at 32 years old?
Well, it sounds like he's got his head screwed on. The main thing is just enjoy it. And like I said, take the training serious and stuff. And when you get ready for a show, dieting. But apart from that, just enjoy it. I always found the best thing was to have something else outside, because if you're 24/7 bodybuilding, does your head in, drives you mad, drives people around you mad. So,
Right.
yeah, but just like I said, a lot of people try and rush it. They want it overnight, but bodybuilding doesn't happen overnight. So as long as you just play it safe, and when it comes to anything, just always err on the side of caution. When I used to always do stuff, I always said I use it, I don't abuse it. So
Right.
as long as you're smart, that's really all you got to do. It's like some people get caught up in, I want it now, I want to get this now, I don't care what I got to do to get there. And normally when you don't care what you got to do to get there, it never ends well. So
Yep.
Now, how tall are you?
5'6".
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's not bad.
So the thing is, like, so the good thing about moving to Arizona, I met Dennis. Troy was the first trainer I ever hired. Troy Alves, first trainer I ever hired, because I liked his ideation and where he was and what he liked it about aesthetics. And met Dennis. Dennis was the opposite. Dennis James were cool, but they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. And Troy told me something. He said, "Listen, man, it was great you turned pro quick, but the problem is you have to catch up now." You know what I mean? And I said, I wish I knew that before, because I did it because I'm just driven, right? Like, people told me it takes you years to turn pro. This is that and that. I'm like, well, I had something to prove. Well, I proved it, but now there's so much, like he said, so much I got to learn. And I'm getting
Yeah, obviously genetically gifted if you could turn pro after 3 shows.
If you ever need like posing, one of the best posing coaches I think's in Arizona. That's my old training partner, Rusty Jeffers. He's like a
Rusty's the man. He's actually is my It's funny you say that.
Is
he really?
Rusty? Yeah, Rusty, great guy. He knows me very well.
Crazy workouts together in his garage, and we used to have the craziest leg works out, doing those giant sets, like 5 exercises in a row. And out there in Scottsdale, in some of those gyms, you feel like you're going to drop dead from the heat. So it's like,
yeah. No, I love Rusty. He's the most tan white man I've ever seen. I don't know. I was like, man, you're making me feel jealous.
got the best
Yeah, what the?
Lee, did you have a shed gym? Shadow Buddha's asking if you had a shed gym in Arizona.
Yeah, when I lived up in Lancaster, California, in the high desert, I had a gym up there. But up there, it's totally different. It's like Scottsdale. It's a dry heat, and I'd train in this shed. That's where when I won my first pro show. I trained in that shed for 6 months. I didn't go to a normal gym, and it was like 116. But a dry heat you can handle. It'd be 116. I wouldn't even sweat because it's just dry. I'd drive down to Venice at 72, and you'd sweat your ass off. So. Today here in Australia, it's like 105 and humid, and wow. I got heat stroke the other day mowing the lawn. So
Jesus, it's freezing over here in fucking Jersey. What is it, like 10 degrees? Yeah. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to say thank you to T. Papa Jr. Been a listener from the get-go. Today, I want to tell you, good job. Thank you. All right. So the list comes out for the Arnold last week. And it was a big surprise. Like, I didn't think it was going to be this stacked, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good people in it. But, Ian, you know Justin Rodriguez, right?
Yes.
How does he keep getting invited to the Arnold? I'm just going to call this. I'm just going to be real. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I say it's because I think he's done it so much is that Arnold goes, come on back in again. Just try to show face.
That's it. That's it.
I would say he's got to be at least 8, maybe 10 Arnold so far, maybe.
Wow. Yeah, but he's like he's just getting worse and it's not. It's just for the time, right? It's just getting to the point where it's just he's not the same guy he was 8-9 years ago, clearly. But Patrick.
You're off his Christmas card list now.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah.
You know what it is? It's there's one thing to love the sport. We all love the sport. And like I said, I was a late bloomer. I started late, got my pro card late. But there's a time where you got to say love and passion and let it go.
Yeah, right. See, everybody else on the list I can understand. Patrick Moore, I know hasn't been doing well, but Patrick Moore's the type of physique that Arnold likes. So I can understand why he gets invited. Everybody else on this list deserves the invite. I just don't understand how Justin gets the invite. Or
you know what the funny thing is? Nick Walker should have done this show instead of Justin Rodriguez.
Oh, 100%. A lot of people are saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what with Nick though? I think the reason why I think it was a smart move him not doing the show. Here's why. He's been off for a while now. He's gonna be rusty. For him coming back, this lineup is a tough lineup. Now he comes in, let's say he doesn't do well. What happens? Now he's 10 steps backwards with all the media saying, "Oh, you're not ready. Your mind's not into it."
Well, we know Nick is probably going to do the New York Pro.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Or
maybe the Chicago Pro, something like that. Yeah,
some show where he knows that he's going to be one to dominate.
Yeah, he's going to dominate it, and then he's going to get ready for the Olympia. That's pretty much definitely his plan. I'm actually glad Derek Lunsford doing this because I think that's a big power move because I think he's got something to prove. Tell everybody.
I got an inside speaker. Sorry to interrupt.
Good.
He's probably going to say, he didn't tell me not to, so we're cool. Chris is going to train Derek right now.
Chris who? Aceto?
Cormier.
Really? Lee,
Yep.
Lee, did you hear that? You're good friends with Chris.
No, I haven't spoke to Chris in probably the last week or so, but I still think
the message I got. So.
I still think the Arnold's going to do the old, because 500,000. It wasn't till the end of the Olympia, until the presentations, that we found out they bumped the Olympia to 600,000. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised come the Arnold when it comes time to hand out the checks. I think it's going to maybe go even higher because Arnold hates losing. You know what he's like when it comes to competition. It might be 750, or Arnold might just go, fuck it, $1 million now catch.
Well, that's a good point. So the question is, do you think there'll be any other additions? Besides Nick's not going in, who else could probably come in, do you think, late? Because I think there's going to be at least one or two more people who are going to enter this show.
Is Heidi in the show? Yeah, he's in.
No, Heidi's not doing it. No. Heidi's not doing it.
It's a smart move for him because he's a previous Olympian champion. All he has to do is just walk in.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Heidi could do it if he wanted to, but I understand why he's not. He came in second and he won. I don't know how many Arnolds did he win last year? 2 or 3? 2, right? Yeah, I think he won 2. Yeah, so he's Derek is trying to do pretty much what Heidi did last year. Saying
he could come in because sometimes we've always seen a great lineup like this, and for whatever reason, as it gets closer, we could be like Patrick Moore's dropped out or someone drops out, so then somebody hops in, because we always see lineups with a stacked lineup, and then as it gets closer, 1 or 2 always drop out for some reason.
Actually, the funny thing is, it'd be funny if C-Bum decided to do it. Just as
that would have been
that would have been good if he got the invite. Yeah, right. If he put his paper in.
Money talks.
What about
Money.
That's
Labrada,
right.
He's not. I don't see.
He's another guy.
He'll do Texas. He'll do Texas.
Right.
Oh,
Texas or Tampa. He's always known for that show.
But that's a good.
I think the dark horse into Arnold would be, people always think he's good. And I think the best we've ever seen him was when he won his last show. But I think Akeem, if people count him out, I think he can actually do damage if he comes in like he did at his
getting better.
Show.
Big time.
He's getting better each show.
I fully agree. I mean, he could really give this lineup a run for their money. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in the way he did in his last show. If he comes in top 3, I would not be surprised at all.
No.
Like, he could definitely. The one guy that's really got to show everybody what he's made of is Carlos Thomas Jr.
Yeah,
100%. I agree.
He's really got to show. I think after
legs up and keep that size, it's kind of
if he just doesn't seem. I don't know what it is about Carlos. He turned
timing.
Pro.
Yeah, timing.
I don't. It's been a long time.
It's been a while. I think he turned pro with Antonio in 2020, right? I think.
I thought it was after. No, was it?
It was either 2020 or 2021,
or just after. Yeah, Universe, right? Yeah.
So it might have been 2021, but
actually, it would be a great show because Keon did say this.
I was going to say
Samson. He wanted Samson. Come on in, Keon. Come on in.
Really.
Keon. Since we're doing previews, I reckon 2027, 28, Keon will win the Open Olympia.
I don't say Keon is arguably probably the best physique in bodybuilding right now. So that's very possible because all the other, besides Samson, but the other two, Hadi was a 212 guy.
Yeah.
Derek was a 212 guy. He clearly, and I know people think I'm crazy for saying this. I think Keon is probably the best 212 Olympia champion we've ever had. I mean, Flex to me is very close, but Keon's shape is just
yes, I mean, call a spade a spade.
Yeah,
his shape is beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's actually looking good now. He's even at his body weight. He's been good as James too. I wouldn't count James out doing well because he's actually pretty hard right now. He's like just under 300 or so. So
James Hollingshead.
Yeah.
James is James is that typical white guy bodybuilder, thick, hard, grainy.
Motherfucker, you.
I know. I know. It's fucking truth, though. It is what it is.
Well, who's coaching James? Who's coaching James?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think he does. I think
he was helping him
to Patrick. I think he does. Because I know he does something with. I know
Patrick used to do it.
JP.
Then he used to run ideas of what's that guy from England? I forget his
JP.
name.
Yeah. He bounces off JP. He's had a couple. Hollingshead is a very likable guy.
I'm pretty sure someone said Stefan there was helping him. That Stefan
was helping him for a bit, but he doesn't. Rumor has it, I'm hearing James is a type of person where he'll take your information but he's not totally fully committed and doing it himself.
If I were James, James is a very, very likable guy. Everybody in the UK loves him. Everybody from Fuad's fans love him. I would probably do something similar to what Antoine Vaillant is doing and start his own YouTube channel.
I think he hasn't, though.
Got one.
What? He's got one already? No. But like where he's commentating, not where he's training.
Oh no! He actually. You know the funny thing is, he gets more likes as being
a Twitch person.
Yeah, no, not that. Yeah. But he was the character from God of War.
Oh, he's one of those guys, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Kratos. He looks just like him.
Yes.
I meant like
you look at him and he'll put the makeup on and he was like he literally showed at Comic-Con. He walked in, they were like, "Yo, we gotta take a picture."
Oh, that's crazy.
All right. So let's break it down. Let's see. Carlos Thomas Jr. If this guy doesn't come in 100%, where does he go from here? Because he came in decent shape his last show, and I think he came in third. I don't remember the show. I think it was like a Chicago or a Texas or something like that. And he backed out of several shows before that. Everybody's expecting Good, Lee. What were we gonna say?
I said I predict you'll go to Dairy Queen.
Yeah, exactly. But where does a guy like that go from here? Because if he doesn't come in spot on this one, people are going to start really questioning whether he's serious about the sport or not.
100%.
Well, then he should do that, and maybe he should do the Detroit Pro then.
Or Pittsburgh. Is the Pittsburgh got a good pro?
Pittsburgh too.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's got a good. Yeah. But what do you guys think? If he, in my opinion, he's got to nail this one. What do you guys think?
Well, what's a nail for him?
That's
a nail
question,
for him.
Yeah,
a nail for him's got to be like what Keon showed
Top
up
five,
as.
like
that type of conditioning. No, yeah, if he can come in that condition, there's no reason why he can't be top 5. When I mean nail it, I mean his conditioning. He's got all the size, he's got the symmetry, he's got the shape. I mean, he literally is flawless as far as body parts. He just can't nail his conditioning.
But that lab is tough, man. You got
but what I mean by that is what I mean is he's got to nail this conditioning for people to say, oh, okay, he's serious about this sport. Because if he comes in like so like he did last time, in my opinion, the fans are going to be like, he's not that serious about this sport. It's been way too long. People have been waiting way too much for him. And listen, I'm friendly with him. He was on my show on muscular development. I'm friendly with his dad. Again, I got to call a circle a circle. I ain't gonna, he's got to come in and nail that conditioning in order for him to be considered a serious threat in any lineup. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's top 5 for sure. He has to be top 5 to be considered a threat in the sport.
Yeah, there's no question about it. But if Akeem comes in the way he comes in, Samson is just I've never seen Lee. Have you ever seen you were in the golden era? Have you ever seen somebody over 300 pounds, over 320 pounds carrying it like Samson. I mean, he's still got abs and a small waist and great proportion.
Yeah,
I don't remember any other bodybuilder that big carrying that kind of carrying it that well.
Dillette was big, but Dillette wasn't that heavy, and Dillette was hard and had great symmetry and stuff. But he wasn't that heavy. So,
yeah, as all the guys that were, I mean, he's 325. He's saying, I think 320 or 325.
Crazy, 325.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think he's 6'1", something like that. And if you look at his last guest posing, I think was this weekend. The guy's shape was amazing. I mean, his abs, his symmetry, his shape, it was phenomenal.
But see, here's the thing: he loves the sport.
He does love it.
As
Clearly,
yeah.
And
thank you, Real Report, for that comment.
yeah, no, it's So he's also if he wins this, I think he's going to have the record for most money won in a certain period of time or something like that as a bodybuilder.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I know.
Man.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was replying to the guy on the thing that told me that's why I've never been to Dubai. Lee's never been invited to Dubai because he's always saying some racist shit. What have I ever said about Dubai?
Yeah.
All I said once was if Hardy doesn't live in Dubai. All I said, if Hardy didn't win the Olympia and you find a backpack on the seat beside you, run. That's all I said.
Oh,
this,
That's not racist.
wow. It's kind of I'm not going to say it's racist. It's pretty accurate.
One race is better than the other. That's just being pretty accurate.
God.
There was always
this guy really likes you, Lee. Look at this. This guy, the Real Report, really likes you.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's people like that.
That was my joke about you're so sensitive, Real Report. Go change your tampon.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. Really?
No, it happens. Listen, you got to come and watch Muscle Talk with the rest of it. That's when we all goof off and whatnot. And
it's people like this who don't really know the real. Like I said, you don't have to be a best friend of Lee, but if you know the sport and you know Lee, you know the type of person he is. And if you can't take it with a grain of salt, get out of the kitchen. Go cook somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't even know the real Lee. I'm so fucked.
When is that documentary going to be on? What is it? Amazon Prime?
John's such a good friend. I sent him the link a week ago to watch it, to preview it. Hasn't watched it. I've been sick. Nothing better to do when you're sick to watch the documentary, but it actually comes out on the 19th. What's that, Thursday? It'll be on Vimeo. Vimeo,
Okay.
Nice. All right. Now that you said that, after this, I'm going to go watch it.
They asked that question on the documentary too. Dennis James and Melvin Anthony and Paul Dillette. Is Lee racist? And you listen to their comments; they're pretty funny.
Really? Did they just go? Yeah, he is. Yeah.
No, they don't actually. Paul Dillette's like, last time I checked, I'm black, and I lived with Lee for almost a year. So
right?
Yeah,
Come
listen,
on,
man.
people.
You get people have to get like a fucking it's a joke. It's funny. People break each other's balls. We're fucking joking. Yo, did you see that? I know I'm going off topic, but did you see that comedian? She was a woman, and she was like talking about it was supposed to be like part of her joke.
Right.
She's like, I got all the booster shots. I got the all the shots for COVID. And then the joke is that she collapses. That's supposed to be the joke. But when she collapsed, she actually hit her head on the floor and fractured her skull. I swear to God. You didn't see it?
Oh, shit, no.
Yeah. It's fucking, because everybody's laughing, and then she just doesn't get up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. And then like everybody started panicking and shit, but it was fucking great. Somebody
upstairs was watching.
Ban user and delete their comments. There we go. That's very easy to do on here. Okay, good.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. See what a good friend I am, Lee. Just got rid of him.
I like the trolls. What are you doing?
All right.
Now he's probably a black guy saying that he's going to call you racist because you banned him.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Right. Meanwhile, right?
Does anybody think Derek could beat Samson?
No.
Well, I'm
can.
thinking if he comes in really good, I could see if it's really close, depending, you know how they like drama. If they let Derek win, then look at the drama that's going to build.
It's going to be a big Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
Arnold loves Samson, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
big time. Well, I mean, listen, when people say things like, "Oh, the tide is turning," Samson is pretty much the full package.
Mhm.
In this Olympia, he had the most size, the best aesthetics, and his conditioning was the best he has ever delivered.
Yes.
And he was the full package. So I'm not buying that. The tide is turning. Guys want the bodybuilding wants more of an aesthetic, pleasing physique. No, he is the full package. He is everything. He is aesthetic. He is huge. He's conditioned. He's balanced. I don't think Derek. I think that if Derek comes in even the Olympia he did last year, and Samson comes, I don't think he could beat him. I think he's.
Derek put up that video right now, and his legs are really blown out bigger again. But it's okay having them blown out now. You got to keep that size once you're shredded.
Right.
Show day, exactly.
Yeah.
Remember,
I have a question. So what do you think?
Hold on. Go ahead, Antonio.
What do you think Derek needs to do? Okay, let me just throw a wild card out to you guys. Maybe I'm off. I'm still learning about bodybuilding. I really predicted that Andrew Jack would do better than Samson. I did, for just where they were. And I see, obviously, as a person of color, and I say this all the time, when it comes to being super conditioned, right? We talk about that grainy look. The only person that shocked me was Ronnie Coleman. With that size, him being a person. But I see a lot of guys being in the sport that can get that super grainy. But do we expect that from Samson, one? And what does Derek need to do? Because I think it's over. I'm gonna be honest with you. Where Samson's headed in the energy and the passion he has for the sport and the gift, I think it's over for Derek. I think a guy like Keon could challenge Samson more. I personally believe that.
It's definitely that's actually a good scenario. The thing is, Samson is a little older, so he might be dominant for the next 2 or 3 years. I don't think he's gonna have a run like a Ronnie or a Lee Haney or anything like that because he's older now. But I think if Samson seems to have found a formula where he comes in better every time, and if he comes in like he did at the Olympia, I don't see anybody beating him in this lineup. Derek has, in my opinion, to play to his strengths, right? Exactly. He came in too hard. He wanted to have that hottie conditioning. It's not going to happen. He lost his legs. And it was just a bad move for him. He's got to come in the way he did last year at the Olympia, where he's freaky. His conditioning is good enough. Because let's face it, his back shots are next to none. Okay, nobody's beating him on his back shots. So he's got to keep that and the conditioning with it. And the thing is, though, his legs are always his weak point. So when he diets down, they go down. So he can't be that grainy chiseled. Now, as far as Andrew Jack, he's just too tall, man. I mean, he can win any small show, but when he goes up against guys like Samson and Hadi and Derek, he just looks lanky.
You notice Andrew Jack from the back. You like in the front of Mr. O all the way up and down.
Right.
As he turns around, you're like, got him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, it's true.
Point out everything.
Yeah.
I think Samson too. He's one of those because the Olympia was like Hardy was better condition, Hardy's better condition, but Samson's one of those guys with the mass, the shape. It's like a Flex Wheeler or Cormier. They could be 95, 96, 97% and still win because what they had over that, they could still beat other guys because yes, this guy might be more conditioned, but they don't have the same shape, the balance, the muscle bellies, and stuff like that. So Samson doesn't need to be as shredded as Hardy or anyone to still win the show.
You know what? Here's what I think. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Now, you guys raised a great point in regards to Samson and Andrew. If you notice, when Samson had the issue with Milos and parted ways, he became more of a happier person. His mindset changed. He was more into the sport and saying, you know what, I'm doing this now. You've seen the love and passion there. Now, I'm not saying Andrew doesn't have that, but in my watching his demeanor, Andrew enjoys the sport. He doesn't have that killer instinct to love and drive.
Are you calling him LeBron James?
If the shoe fits, sometimes you got to wear it, right?
Right.
Because in his field, like he's an engineer, he makes good money doing what he does.
Yep. Smart dude. Yeah.
And this is more of a hobby for him. He likes the sport. I don't think he loves it. Where the drive is bodybuilding, eat, sleep, breathe, and that's my take. Yeah. Now with Derek's more. You can see he loves the sport. He's passionate. He's all into Christ, and I'm not getting all that. That's great and all, but his problem was he was chasing other things rather than being Derek. Don't try to look like Hardy. Don't try to look like this. Be
Right.
Derek. Work to your strengths. That's what Samson did. My strength is I know me. I know my body. My wife Marlene knows my body. I'm going to go there. I'm going to be a better person. And that's what happens. Your mindset takes over. So in this sport, back to like Ronnie Coleman, I don't think it will ever see that era ever again where someone wins 7 titles in a row or 8 titles because bodybuilding is changing so much. New upcoming people, younger kids are coming in, anabolics are changing. We'll never see that run again. And I love Samson. Of respect and meeting him. Do I think he'll repeat? No. Because of the sport, how the industry evolves. Can he? 100%, but I don't think he will.
No, it hasn't been a repeat since Big Ramy, so it's very difficult now. If you slip, if Steve Weinberger doesn't pull any punches, if you're slipping, you're out. That's it. I mean, he is not. It is just not the Weeder days where, you know, the only bad thing about that is you really can't be a great ambassador of the sport if you're only the Olympia champion for 1 year. There's not much you could do, right?
That's
like,
right.
you know, that's the only drawback. But as far as excitement for the sport and whatnot, it's next to none. The one guy we got to give props to in this lineup is Sean Clarita. That guy doesn't give a shit. Like he's competing no matter what.
He's got nothing to lose in the show. He's got.
That's right. Yeah.
And he can come in, like I said. I think at the Olympia he came in a little bit too lean, but if he can get that fullness and that condition again, he looks like a little Ronnie. So he can hang.
Yeah, and he did great. Who came in? Akeem won that last show, right?
Yes.
And Clarita did that show, didn't he? Or
Clarita did the other one.
Which one?
Clarita did Prague.
Clarita did Prague.
Okay, who won Prague? Prague was Martin.
Martin.
Yeah, I would have personally had Clarita in second
over Chris.
Yeah,
over Chris.
I thought because Sean Clarita is small. I mean his proportions are amazing. Just because he's short, his proportions were amazing.
Yeah.
I think they a little bit of a gift, but then again, what do I know? But Clarita, you got to give him his props. Talk about somebody who loves the sport. Wow, he doesn't care. He don't give a shit. He'll compete against the biggest and best. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's fucking. He's got balls. I'll tell you that much.
Remember, and this guy also won a pro show.
Yeah, he did, and he beat.
Sergio Regan.
Yes, right. Sergio and Regan. Yeah. What's happening with Sergio? Does anybody know if he's competing anymore?
Yeah, Sergio right now, he left Neil Hill. He's not with Neil Hill no more. He's with Boss of Outlaw.
That's right. What happened to? Because I tell you, man. So I mean, listen, I've had Sergio Oliva on, I think 3 times. Every time I ask him to come on, he comes on. But he's all over the place, man. He was, from I don't know, he was
Spain,
California. Dubai to Spain, and he was
out here.
Yeah, he was all over the place because he was training with Dorian.
Yeah,
right?
So he said the training with Dorian was going great. It was good, but the style that Dorian was doing, he wasn't so much used to, the pushing and the volume. That training, Dorian's training is like that era of training. I don't care if people say this generation, we're not built for that.
I love it. Honestly, I love it.
I love it. We're not built. They're not built for
ain't built for that. No.
Well, look
Dorian
trained with Dorian, and then he threw up everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Did you ever train with Dorian or no?
Well, actually, when I was younger, he came to Australia to do a seminar. I think I was about 17 or so, and I trained back with him at a gym in Sydney.
Really? And what was that like?
It was good. I wasn't going super crazy because it's just over here doing a tour and that sort of thing.
Right,
so
right.
Crazy pushing each other, just more a casual type workout.
Yeah, Dorian and Ronnie would train to the point where they would damage themselves.
Yeah.
And they do it all
Which
over
cat
again.
is that? Number 10 or number 12?
That's Panda. I went to the pet shop to get pet food, and Panda was there with some kittens. I went back a month later. He was still there. They were going to put him to sleep, so Panda come home.
Oh, wow.
I tried that with a pit bull. Didn't work out too well.
Pitbull?
Yeah. Might have some problems there.
Yeah, I tried that. I really did. I'm not kidding. I had 2 pits. This was a few years back. I had Hercules and Lola, and I found a stray female pit who was extremely friendly. I fucking I fucking brought him home, and Hercules wasn't having it. So
No.
almost killed that poor dog. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Dogs get very territorial.
That's the last time I tried that. So
Yeah.
all right. Does anybody think Samson could lose this?
Anything's possible, but still
I-
chance.
I think so. We talk about I consider momentum, right? And I think we talked about this briefly. John, I'd be preparing. I said Samson really put a lot of pressure on a lot of people because of the amount of shows he's been doing and his love for the sport. It's really showing people that you guys are dodging and you're not doing it for the love of the sport. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm out there, I'm here, I'm representing, and I think that momentum on top of him being, he like you say, he doesn't have to be 100%. He just brings a lot, man. He really does with that energy, and he's going to work. That's why I think he's going to be able to hold it down. Now, like you said, it's anybody. You know how bodybuilding is. But I think this man, listen, he switched to his wife. I might switch to my wife if it's working like that. But, there's something to say, right? There's something to say. Like
he's already doing more as Mr. Olympia.
It's like we were saying before. If your head's in the right place and your wife keeps you focused and you feel
That's it.
That's the thing. Like physically, we all know how to train everything else, but if you've got strength and all that other shit, if your mind's focused and you're happy and your wife helping you and that puts you at ease, it's so much easier for a show when you're at ease and relaxed and stuff like that. So
my wife would be horrible. She would just try to feed me. She'd be like, "Yeah, forget it.
You're too skinny. Have this. Eat that. It's okay." Yeah.
My wife is Greek, and all she does is loves to cook. So when I was competing, it was the worst. But anyway,
go on, just have a little bit. It won't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. All right. As far as the James Hollingshead, where do you guys think he's going to land? Because I don't see him really coming in, and I don't see him coming in, and he's a good bodybuilder. Don't get me wrong, but I haven't seen him make any. If
he comes in like we've never seen him, I think he can crack the top 5. But then that's just going to depend on the other people how they turn up. But I think if he can come in like we've never seen him before, I think it's possible he can get the top 5.
Yeah, the thing is,
when was his last show? Euro Pro? Like I can't remember.
Shit, we're forgetting. De La Rosa's doing the show too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Damn, this lineup is stacked.
It's a big lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, right off the bat, I'm putting Justin.
We'll all wait the pre-judging and then we'll make our predictions.
Yeah, right off the bat, I'm putting Patrick Moore and Justin Rodriguez at the back of the pack. That's just not going to happen.
What's the hype with Patrick? I'm new, but there's when I got in, there was a lot of hype behind him. I guess I never really. I don't know. I'm not. Listen, I'm just keeping it real. What's the hype behind it? I don't know.
His V taper back then. He had a V taper that for his size, it just matched well at that time for I think it was the Arnold he did, and he came in and he just had a nice V taper.
Yeah, and like I said, he did the Olympia, and I remember I think he broke the top 10. I want to say 2020 or 2021.
Yes, I think
And he was spot on, and everybody was like, "Whoa! If this kid puts on another 10 pounds and brings that kind of package, but he never did."
Yeah,
he got injured, and then
All right,
but I'm putting those two. Justin, so somebody's going to have a conversation with Justin. I just don't. I see him coming in dead last.
Stick a fork in him.
He really seriously.
Why don't you call him up and have a talk with him?
And you know what really is? I've seen him at Signature Fitness where I train. Actually, Ian's seen him there, and I've seen him work out there, and it's there is nothing. He doesn't do anything. I've never. There's no drive in those workouts whatsoever. It's just like he's going through the motions, man. And on the flip side, Clarita used to train at that gym, and he was a fucking machine. It was unbelievable. It was the kid was a fucking monster in that goddamn gym, and his wife was his pit bull. God forbid you got in his way.
Oh yeah,
yeah. His wife, it push you out. One time he was on shoulder presses, and I was looking for plates, and he had it all stacked up on the. And she just looks at me and she goes, Don't even think about taking one of those plates. And I was like, all right, you got it. Yeah, I swear to God. Yeah.
I mean, you can always meet a nice guy, and they're like, man, he's a nice guy, but his wife's a meat. That way you say it.
Yeah, but I've seen Justin in the gym, and he's a nice guy, but there's nothing behind him. I personally, I just think it's Father Time. You see his waist getting bigger, his legs getting smaller. It is what it is.
It's so
Patrick
positive.
Moore, if he comes in the same as usual, or what we expect, that he's at the back of the pack. Carlos Thomas Jr. is gonna have to really show that he's
Dark
serious. And the
Yeah.
other two guys that are wild cards now is Brandon Curry and William Bonac.
Well, Brandon has a new coach up here now,
Okay.
Jason something. So he's staying up here. So we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah,
You never count Brandon out. So.
yeah, you can't count Brandon out or William
I
Bonac.
still think if he can come in like his last show, Akeem's going to be the wild card to mix it up a bit. I think.
Yeah,
Okay,
Akeem comes in, and he's working with Aceto, right? See, this
Yes.
is
Oh,
what I mean. Yeah,
But
it's-
Dave asked him the other day on the show, and he said, "Isn't he working with you?" And Chris is like, "Oh, so I've been told he's working with me." So he didn't really.
So who?
Well,
the
he gave
fuck-
thanks to him. His last show, he gave thanks to him. He
Oh,
goes,
did he really?
Yeah.
Or maybe
yeah,
he's
when he
not
won
working with
Portugal.
I don't understand. Like if something's going right with a guy like Casito, just fucking stick with
Right.
it. I don't know. Or whatever, man. Who the fuck knows? These guys, you know, a lot of times these guys, their head gets bigger than what it should be.
The
right.
Seagulls training method is different, though. It's really different.
Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, so who else we got? That's really it. I mean, it's gonna be.
So-
It's gonna be. In my opinion, I think the guys in the back.
So top five. Who'd be top five then?
Sampson, Derek,
Yeah.
Bonac,
Uh-huh.
Andrew,
Uh-huh.
who else? Akeem.
Yeah.
That would be my top five. I don't
So
know.
where do you have Sean then? Where do you have Sean?
Clarita, yeah.
Clarita. The problem is Clarita's
Could be
just
top five.
He could be, but he's
Just surprise somebody like he normally does, and
Yeah.
like someone goes down, he's gonna rise up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
yeah. Well, and me and Lee were talking about this. You know, you don't know how people are gonna show up if they're as good as your last show. But yeah, obviously guys are gonna slip. But we're talking about if everybody comes in, I know 100%. If everybody comes in 100%, I don't see Sean breaking the top five. I think he's a little bit too small.
That never happens. Everyone coming 100%. So.
Yeah. Somebody's always been. And you know, if I had to take a guess, I would say that those three guys that I picked were not going to come in. You know, only because of what they showed us in the past. And I could be dead wrong, but you're only as good as your last show. So Carlos, Patrick, and Justin, I think are going to be at the bottom of the pack. I mean, I could be wrong with Carlos. He's got to show it.
Carlos has to show it. I like to see Carlos stand next to Derek just because of the shape and the density that Carlos brings. I want to see that if it ever happens.
I think Derek is not fucking around. I think Derek was really pissed off that he came in third, and I think he's looking to prove everything. So I have him as high as second. I don't think anybody's beating Sampson. You know, but if it's close, that's going to make a good, interesting Olympia. But this is the first. I don't remember another. We got 4 Olympia champs if you count Clarita. You got Brandon, you got Derek, you got Sampson,
Yeah.
and then if you count Clarita as a 212 champ, I don't think we've ever had 4 Mr. Olympias in a line in a Arnold Classic before.
Why Arnold doesn't have a 212? They have these other stupid.
That's the
bikinis.
I don't know.
He had it.
Yeah, he had it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got rid of it.
Yeah, he got rid of 212. He got rid of women's bodybuilding. He got rid of women's physique. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Those are the 3 he got rid of.
But as
he's
a
got
bodybuilder, why women? Why get rid of women's bodybuilding?
I don't
maybe I'm
know.
wrong.
Like,
I think it's a low turnout. I think because there's only a few. You know, like, think about this: how many women do you really see go bodybuild?
Right.
yeah, no, I agree, but all the other I fully agree, but all the other classes right off the back of bodybuilding. So in my if it's a bodybuilding show, if only 3 girls show up, big deal. Just let them compete. You know, it is bodybuilding. But then again, I don't know.
Oh man, they normally put them on at the expo anyway, so it's like.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. What'd you guys think of the NPC Nationals?
Yeah,
You guys watch it?
Wow.
I thought it was pretty impressive, actually.
I'm too old school. I remember the Nationals when it was like Flex and Chris, DeMayo and all the freaks and that too. When I see the national, I'm like, I still think of those days, so it's hard for me to.
Yeah.
Well, that's my point. That's my point. What I said earlier, that era, like I'm 51, and I've been following for. I love the sport, and I tell this generation now, they think, "Oh, you're young." I'm like, no, I'm 51, but I'll tell you one thing: you don't got what it takes what those guys did back in the days. You'll never see a show where you can look at people like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Them
whoa.
dudes is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look
It's-
at
no,
someone who never turned pro, Edgar Fletcher and all these guys who never turned pro.
Yeah.
Today would be a great pro, Edgar Fletcher and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, today they kind of give pro cards out like nobody's business, and then I think their attitude is, well, the best is just going to rise to the top in the IFBB anyway. But yeah, man, there were guys that never turned pro that could have been great pros. It's 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And then there were guys in what was the other federation back in the day? Lee, help me out. They had the universe.
BFN or something. What was it?
No. They had the universe.
NABA.
NABA. You had guys in NABA that were fucking amazing. You
Look
know.
at that NABA Hall of Fame, Lee Prick.
Oh shit! Look at that shit, Lee. Oh
Get
shit!
that from winning the universe at 42. It's like
What
take
the-
a Hall of Fame award and fuck off and stop competing.
Was there anybody that came like a close second in that show?
The Korean guy that comes second to me, he actually went into the IFBB and did well in the 212s and that for a while. And even when I did the PDI show, what's his name? Was it Samuel Heydecke? He did well in the 212s in the IFBB because he went from the PDI to the IFBB. Sammy.
Lee, question: What was your stage weight, Lee, when you competed?
I varied. When I won my first pro show, 199 at San Francisco. When I
Wow.
won the Ironman, I was like 208. The 98 Olympia, where people said I look good 99, I was 215. So anyway, it just varied.
Wow.
That's my point. You see that you said 208. Look at that. You look at a 208 guy now. You're like, what are you, classic physique? Like it's the size and volume is different, man. Like
Yeah, the guys today are the guys today are huge. They're fucking huge. Back in the day, like if you only had one or two guys that were over 300 pounds, and now you have a lot of oval bodybuilders that are over 300 in their.
Anyway, what was Marcus' rule? I don't think Marcus was even 300, was he?
He was a beast. I met him once at the 2000 Olympia, and at the blackjack table because we were in Vegas. And it was right after the Olympia, and he just went right to play blackjack.
I think back then, Kovacs might have been the only guy in the 300 competing back then.
Yeah, and he didn't really have a great physique, to be honest with you. He was a freak of nature. But guys like Akeem and Sampson, and you go down the list. I mean, even does Hollingshead get to 300? I think he does.
It was over 300 for a while.
Yeah,
He'll
this
go
guy's
to
a
300, but then he'll top out around like 285 usually. 275.
Who's that? Who's that?
Holland will go like the 275, 285.
Okay, yeah, these guys are fucking huge, man. And
I hit 285 in the off season. Not a good old days.
did anybody ever tell you, Lee, maybe you should not eat so much in the off season?
Matarazzo used to laugh his ass off every time he came into the gym. He's like, Lee, I told you, stop fucking eating. You're like a tick. You're going to explode.
Yeah. Yeah, it was back then. You can get away with being sloppy on the off season. There was no fucking social media or anything like that.
Well, that's why.
Off season, I follow any eating program. I just ate what I wanted when I wanted. And people are like, oh, you're going to get fat. You'll never get in shape. I'm like, hey, thanks. As soon as I got in shape, oh, you're looking fantastic. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. That's how you know. That's how you know you're supposed to be a bodybuilder when you can just guys like Lee or Kevin.
My weight was 48 inches in the off season. When I dieted down, it was 28.
Jesus. Get the fuck out of here. Really?
That's
Holy
crazy.
shit.
That's wild.
Yeah. Guys like Lee, Kevin Lavrone, who could look like a regular dude, Roden. Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah.
The guest posing when he came to win Olympia. Oh, he'll
Yeah.
never be ready. Look what happened. Wins Olympia.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you do?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There was no Ozempic back then. Like, what did you do?
Oh, I can't say enough for nothing.
All I used to do was 2 hours of training, 2 hours in the morning, 2 at night, and 3 hours of cardio.
Wow, you used to do 3 hours of cardio. Holy shit! What kind of cardio was it?
Steady state.
The old stair stepper.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah.
3 hours in one clip. You used to do that?
See, that's
Yeah,
different.
and Arnold and Eddie Giuliani would always say, Lee, why are you doing so much cardio? We just used to train longer because they never did a lot of cardio back in the day. They just trained longer because really, if you're training and you're going heavy for long, you still
Yeah.
had a cardio type thing. You're burning calories and stuff.
Right.
But yeah,
Mhm.
but the reason I did that was I wanted to eat more because I hated waking up hungry, going to bed hungry. So
Okay.
I'm like, I'll just eat a couple more meals and I'm at home. I got the stepper at home and the treadmill at home. I'll have another meal and then get on the treadmill for another hour and watch TV and stuff like that. So,
Damn.
It's all about balance. All about balance.
Yeah, Lee had none. He just said, fuck it.
It's like extreme.
Lee, when do you start going on your tour, man?
oh,
Yeah,
don't
congrats.
talk about it. I'm already stressing out about it. I think I was meant to start on the 13th, but now they want me to go to Budapest, meet Giles and the guy in Budapest for a seminar, then fly over to Glasgow, Scotland, and start there. And then I got a gym every day for like 12 days through the UK and Ireland. So I'm thinking could give me a day's break in between, but it's like, and then after that I get back, go to the Arnold, and then in May I go to Italy, and then Giles wants to organise a European tour in July. I'm like, you know how far it is to travel from Australia? I'm getting too old.
Right? Yeah.
You know, Lee, does your wife come with you when you do these traveling or no?
No, she stays home.
All right,
I
so
sent her to work. Someone's got to make money.
yeah.
Well, Lee, if you need a training partner, just hit me up. You know, I'm off season. I'm there for you, bro.
Antonio, what do you got plans for the
Then we can
future?
go to the gym and go to McDonald's.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I need to grow. 212. I'm in.
I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Pro next year.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to do two. I've only done one show. Like I told you guys, I'm doing it on my time.
Yeah.
I've only done one show per year. And the biggest thing is I educated myself. And another thing to tell you guys. So my first 2 shows, I didn't do any gear. I'm not.
No, I believe you. But
Okay.
I laugh because that's what a pro is supposed to be.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And we talk about this all the time on the other show on Muscle Talk. You know when you're supposed to be a pro, if you could win fucking local shows, with no gear, because there are guys doing local shows that are just
Juice
stacked.
box. Oh
It's
yeah.
unbelievable. And it's like, well, what are you gonna like that kid that's not pro yet, Elliot Dermont? We were talking about him last time. Like, what are you gonna do when you turn pro?
Yeah.
When you're taking everything under the sun in enormous amounts and you're getting sick, what are you gonna do when you get your pro card? Where do you go from here?
Yeah.
So guys like Lee,
Hospital.
I Green, Ronnie, that were able to do it, without gear, or very little. You're destined to be a bodybuilder.
I want to play baseball. Who's that baseballer who just got the $1 billion contract? I want to go do that.
Oh, you talking about Soto?
Yeah, the guy in the
Yeah.
Mets.
Yeah,
Oh,
Crazy.
they just gave him-
$765 million. That's something. Is that the one you talk about?
That is
That's
a new
right.
guy now. I just heard last week he got a 15-year deal, $1.6 billion.
No, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I heard the guy
$765 million.
765 million.
Yeah, stupid. That's
billion.
ridiculous.
Billion.
Really? I got it. Let me see. I don't know.
Google it.
And they say the U.S. is in a deficit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Where does the money come from?
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe on the news here in our dollars it's 1.6
Oh,
billion.
okay.
Still
That's
have-
probably
It
right.
could be.
It'll have to be
It's just-
700 million.
No.
in yours.
Nobody's worth that kind of money. That's
And
ridiculous.
then on top of that, he'll probably get a Nike deal or Reebok.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's listen. The dude went
That's
from the
stock
Yankees to the
options.
Mets. I'm from New York. You're from New York. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Switch. Whatever. 765. We're all athletes. That is in 15 years though. That's the rest of your career. You might as well just
50,
buy
just
a
basically
ring
50 million a
area.
year.
Well, I remember Tiger Woods. I think he said the first year in his golfing, he made like 7 million from golfing, but from endorsements, he made 90, like 40 million from Rolex, 50 million from Nike. I'm thinking, Jesus, I'd be 1 year. 2 years later, I'm done. I'm retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these guys, I don't know. How do the Mets make that kind of money back?
Just think about this. Just think about this, people. We have to understand this. If he's made 765 million, what do the owners make?
Oh,
Yeah, right, exactly. So the only way the price of the tickets are going to have to go up.
Oh, of course.
The price of the jerseys are going to have to go up. I mean, how do you make that kind of return?
Crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, it's
here's
easy.
what I can
Guess
say,
what?
like,
Have
I'm
you
from
been
the
to a game
soccer-
before? When's the last time you've been to an actual game?
Years.
Okay, so think about this. A family of 4 is almost give and take between $500 to $1,000.
Jesus Christ, to go to a baseball game.
Crazy.
That's
Because think about
fucking-
this. Whatever you sit at, right? Let's say we're not talking about bleacher seats. We're talking about regular good seats where you can see the game, right?
Right,
Give and take, probably $100, $200 a piece, right?
right.
Parking. Unless
Yeah.
you, I mean, most people, I mean, if they're not from here, they're not taking the subway. They're going to drive in.
Right.
Another $50 there, probably more.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you got 2 kids, I want ice cream. I want
absolutely.
hot dogs.
Yeah.
I want a
How much
jersey.
are the hot dogs? How much are the hot dogs? That's what I want to know.
Okay,
I think they're like
Listen,
$13 a
wait,
pop.
I
right?
remember I went to a football game and it was $50 for me. I mean, this is for concession. We got cheesesteaks and fries and drink. It was $50, and we're like, wow! It was a bottle of water was like $5.
It's
So
ridiculous.
it's 50
It's
cents.
insane.
It's
Yeah.
like- it's
Does
like
anybody
going
even
to-
want?
You go to the movies here in Australia. I took my wife to the movies, 2 movie tickets, popcorn, choc top ice cream, and a drink, and that's like 90 something bucks just to go to the fucking movies.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Dude, it's insane. Like I go out to dinner with my wife. It's literally double the price now what it was before COVID.
Go to McDonald's, you fool. Go to McDonald's.
yeah, yeah. We went
She's your
to one of
wife.
those.
You don't have to impress her anymore. You don't need
We-
lobster. A
That's
big-
right.
Exactly.
We went to one of those. What do they call it? The Brazilian places.
Hibachi?
We,
Oh, yeah,
no, not
Rodizio.
hibachi.
Texas steak Brazil. type
Rodizio,
thing?
love that place.
Rodizio, right. It was like me and my wife was like $230 or something like that. Jesus
And they
Christ.
keep bringing the food around, and you're trying to get your money's worth, and you're trying.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, gentlemen. I appreciate everybody coming on. Antonio, good luck to you. We'll be in touch.
Appreciate
And
it.
of course, Ian and Coach Rich will obviously be in touch. And Lee will be Lee is like becoming like my bestest
I'm
buddy.
pretty off. I'm going to take some more amoxicillin now for my chest infection.
All right, fellas. Listen, have a good night. All right.
Take care, everybody.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right, man.
Nice to
Later,
meet you all.
guys.
All right.
Later.
Take care.
All right.